I feel like it's past some of your bedtimes over here. Shmuel Yishai, isn't it past your bedtime? I'm kidding. I'm sure it's not. Go ahead, Aaron. What's going on?
I picked the joke of the day.
Can you pick the joke of the day? Try again. You want to hear the joke of the day?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not up to the joke of the day yet. It's a little bit early for that. Have you picked the joke of the day yet?
No.
Okay. Let me see what jokes I have. Okay. Pick a number from 50 to 250.
72.
72. Oh, we did that one already. That was one of the truck drivers that ran over the motorcycles. Pick a different one.
92.
92. Nope, we did that already also. That was when the wacky proved how smart he was by
187.
187. I think we did that one already. I can't tell. Oh. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it. 187. It's not super hysterically funny, but I like it. But we'll get to it later. Hello, B'nai Torah. It's great to see you all. We're trying out a new time now. And I'm going to ask that Yosef, Baruch, and Nachum. Is that Yosef, Baruch, and Nachum? Yeah? I'm listening. It says N-O. One second. Let me look at the name. Noam. Got it. I had to look over there. I could change your name to Nachum if I'd like. Guys, I have a job for you, okay? You have to remind me at 7:40. You have to remind me that I have a very important announcement. Now, you're going to remind me, but I'm going to forget the announcement because I've hit that age and I forget things and I repeat myself. And I forget things and I repeat myself. But you guys are going to be in charge of reminding me. So frantically, you're in my top left corner. So frantically, wave your hand. I gave a test yesterday. Some boys did pretty well. I had only about 900 kids took the test so far. Zachar, you took the test? Yeah, you got a good mark, I'm sure, right? It wasn't that hard of a test. I only gave one test because I've been busy. Would you believe that someone got every question wrong? Now, I got to tell you, Shmuel Yishai, it says Alicia. I got to tell you, funny, right? No matter what, you should not have gotten 0 wrong because the odds are, if there's 4 questions, odds are you're going to get out of the 20 questions, right? You're going to get at least 10 questions. I don't remember how many questions there were. Odds are you're going to get at least 1 right. I don't know how you got them all wrong. That's absolutely mishuggah in the head. In any case, I hope it's not too late for you. I know a lot of you guys are, it's past your bedtime. It's 7 o'clock already. How are you still up already? I would love, when I was a kid, I wanted to stay up all night. Now as an adult, I'd love to go in bed. Even 9 o'clock, that would be amazing. I'm up till 2:30, 3 o'clock every morning, and then I got to get up again the next morning early, and I'm grumpy. I am very grumpy right now, super grumpy. I lost Yosef and Baruch. I just have Noam left, right? Where'd your brothers go? They're coming back? I can't hear you. You're still muted. Okay, ready? We're going to start learning. So for those of you that are just joining us, you're late. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to figure this all out. I'm using a different system over here. So the way it works with the Zoom now is when you click join the Zoom, it puts you onto a random Zoom account. So I'm trying to keep most boys in one same thing every day. So for example, this screen is always this screen, you guys are always this screen, and you guys are always this screen. That screen is off. So we'll go from there. I'm ready to start learning now. We are up to Perek. Perek Tesvav, my favorite Perek at all. I mean, this has some seriously violent stuff. So I want to go back in time a little bit and discuss this guy by the name of Shimshon. Shimshon was an interesting fellow. And we all know he married a certain type of girl. Can you raise your hand and tell me what type of girl he married? Ari Selix and Shlita, what kind of girl did he marry?
A Plishti girl.
A Plishti girl. Why?
Because it would help him wage war against.
You muted yourself while you were talking. Boy, if everyone did that, it'd be a lot more fun. I'd be like that in the middle. Yeah, so Shimshon had another reason why he married a Plishti girl. And the reasoning is he didn't want the Jews punished when he attacked the Plishtim. He figured if he married a Plishti girl, the Plishtim would just call it like an inter-Plishti conflict and not blame the Jews. He didn't want to be punished for marrying, he didn't want to get the Jews punished because he knew he'd be fighting with the Plishtim. So we left off last time as follows, a quick synopsis. So first of all, Shimshon was born. Mazel tov, it's a boy. Got a bris when he was 8 days old. Showed that he was very strong, never got a haircut. So his yeshiva said, if you don't cut your hair, we're going to throw you out of school. You got to have a nicer haircut. Shimshon's parents said, what can we do? And they threw him out of school. I'm kidding about it. I don't know if that happened. Can you imagine if you came to school with your hair long and your principal said, get a haircut? And you said, sorry, I'm a Nazir. What would they do even? That would be pretty funny. Yeah. Girls don't have that problem. They tell over that during the time, I was trying to remember, in the 1950s, a very, very wealthy man who didn't like Orthodox Jews very much went to a Rosh Hashiva in Eretz Yisrael and said, I don't like the fact that boys wear yarmulkes all the time. And the Rosh Hashiva said, what does that mean? He goes, I'll give you $500,000, that's worth millions nowadays, if you open up a school and they don't wear yarmulkes. And the Rosh Hashiva said, you're on. Shook his hand, and the Rosh Hashiva opened up a girls' school. True story. All right? The guy is like, oh, well, at least the girls aren't wearing yarmulkes. Well, good for them. Yeah. Had he said no shaitels, that would have been a bigger problem. Although they weren't married yet, so it's all good. Anyway, now we're going to start. So Shimshon goes ahead, he gets older, and he asks his parents to marry a Plishti girl. His parents say, bad idea. He says, good idea. He was determined to make the Plishtis think he was one of them, so they wouldn't blame the Jews. He goes ahead, marries this girl, and then on the way, he meets a lion. Seriously, I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying to you. And this lion goes ahead and attacks him, and Shimshon beats the guts out of the lion for real, like absolutely rips it to shreds. His parents don't know about this because he walked separately from them for some reason we discussed. And then Shimshon went ahead after this all happened, and he his parents went to this girl, and then he came back and he saw that there was a honey, right? Bees honey inside the lion. And he was very confused about that. He ate the honey, it was good. Gave some to his parents. Not so good, maybe it wasn't kosher. And then he came to the wedding and he asked them a riddle. And the riddle was, how do you take a piece of cake and using only 3 cuts, make it into an equal number of 16 pieces? Like 8 of you got the right answer. Some of you guys were like, you cut very neatly. What? A bunch of boys got the right answer though, which is you have to pick up the piece and put it on top, right? A lot of you got the right answer. A lot of you got the wrong answer. I got some really odd answers there. You make one long cut, like an S shape at an angle, and then you finish, and then you go around and the hub 16 equal pieces. Yeah, no, it's not happening. And one boy wrote a mathematical equation. When you said you cut it 3 times, it didn't mean actually 3, it meant 6, because whatever. Anyway, if you wrote down, you pick up the cake and you put it on top of the other side, that's the correct answer. But that's not the riddle Shimshon gave the Pelishtim. Shimshon told the Pelishtim something different. And he gave them a riddle that the riddle about something, the lion and the bees, and the obviously the Pelishtim did not get the riddle right. They didn't know it. And they had bet 30 things of clothing. So the Pelishtim went and asked his wife, who begged him for the answer. And Shimshon gave her the answer, knowing that she would tell it to the Pelishtim. And then when they came and gave him the answer, what did Shimshon do? He got really upset, the last Perek was, and he walked over to a bunch of other Pelishtim, killed them, and gave their clothing to these Pelishtim. Didn't give them the blankets he promised, maybe because he thought they were cheating. And then Pelishtim went home. And the Perek ended off, Perek Yidal ended off by saying that the Perek ended off by saying that this wife of his married someone else. Now, according to the Torah, is a girl allowed to marry more than one man at a time? Absolutely not. Is a man allowed to marry more than one woman at a time? So it used to be, it was common. It was common. And, we see that with the, forget the avos. Many people married to women. But then the Chem Rabbeinu Gershon came along, and men are not allowed to marry more than one woman at a time. So that was, anyway, do you know in the olden days, if you had two wives, what the second wife was called? Itia, what was she called?
A pilegesh.
Oh, no. A pilegesh is someone who's married without a ksuba. I'm talking if you had two actual real wives. What was the second wife called? Yonatan, you want to try to guess?
An ex-wife?
No, an ex-wife is the wife that you're not married to anymore. Or an ex could be like, if you have a salad, you can have like egg salad. No, that's egg salad. Wrong conversation. Yeah, the correct answer would be a tzara. It was like, it's a pain because two wives don't want to be married to one guy. That's why Rabbeinu Gershon made this chayrim. Doesn't happen anymore. But what happens is, the woman can certainly not marry more than one husband. That doesn't work. And she had never divorced Shimshon, and yet she married other Plishtim. And the other Plishtim didn't stop her. Why not? Because they didn't care. Because first of all, they weren't Jewish. They had, even though they didn't care. They did whatever they wanted. So the Plishtim didn't seem to care very much. Shimshon heard about this, and now we're up to Perek Tesvav. And I'm going to start reading, and I'm going to ask you to put your finger on the place and look inside with me. You ready? A short time later, when the wheat harvest came, Shimshon remembered his wife, and he sent her a goat. I got to tell you, I'm happily married, Baruch Hashem. If I ever gave my wife a goat, do you think she would react positively to the goat? I've had a loving note. Thank you for being the best wife ever. Here's a sheep. That would be a bad idea, right? She would say, what is this? It's a sheep. See? And she would say, yeah, no, I don't want a sheep. Oh, you want a goat? No. My wife does not want any live animals in the house, although now we have a little puppy. Her name is Summer, because we're getting rid of her after the summer. But, little animals don't really belong in my house. I have kids, which are like baby goats, right? Baby goats are called kids. Same idea. So he sent her a goat. I guess this was common in those days. And then he said, okay, I'm going to come back to my wife now. And he came to his father-in-law's house, and he knocks the door. His father-in-law says, hey, Shimshon, how you doing? Good, Dad, because he called his wife's father Dad. Good, Dad. Where's my wife? And he goes, oh, yeah. So she married someone else. Yeah. He said, what? Yes, the father says, he said, yeah. She said, my husband hates me. I'm going to marry somebody else. So Shimshon said, what? Yeah, he knew about this. He was acting. He wanted like an award for acting. So he acted all shocked. You serious? You let my wife marry someone else? And the father says, not a problem. You can marry her younger sister. Woohoo! I did not want to marry her younger sister. That's like Lot saying to the mob outside, don't kill my guests, kill my daughters, right? What a tzaddik Lot was. So the father says, marry younger sister. And so Shimshon's like, I did not want to marry younger sister. This time I'm clean with the plishtim because I'm going to do something bad. What's he talking about? So last time he killed 30 plishtim because he said the plishtim cheated on the riddle. Did he have proof that they cheated on the riddle? He had no proof. He knew they cheated, but he had no proof. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I put a chocolate chip cookie down because I was going to eat it. And my 5-year-old son walked into the room, and I walked out to get myself a glass of warm milk. And I come back, and the cookie is gone. That's odd. Now, I did not see my 5-year-old eat the cookie. It could have been that 18 million flies each took a little crumb and flew away with it. It could be the cookie walked off by itself. That's happened, I've heard. I did not see, but I knew my son ate the cookie. Did I have proof? Yes, because there was cookie all over his face, because he's a slob. That's where the proof was. If there wouldn't have been cookie all over his face, would I have had proof? Yes, because it's all over his shirt also. He was like Cookie Monster. You know, nom, 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 and the cookie goes all over, right? You know what I'm talking about? Cookie Monster never actually eats anything. He just goes nom, 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 and cookie falls over. So my son had cookie crumbs all over him, following his trail all the way into the other room, and there was cookie on his face and the shirt. And I said to him, "What happened to my cookie?" I ate it. All right. Well, that solved that. Didn't need the warm milk, gave it to my son. He proceeded to pour some on his shirt also, so his shirt shouldn't be jealous. Anyway, vice versa, we see there's something called proof and just knowing it. Shimshon knew that his wife had given the riddle, but he couldn't prove it. Now he was able to prove it. He said, now I know for sure you did the wrong thing, and now I'm completely absolved of whatever damages I do. And Shimshon's about to get violent. Let's look inside. Pasuk Dalet. Ready? Vayel Shimshon vayil coach shlosh me'el shualim. Vayikach lapitim vayifin zanav el zanav vayesim la pinecha ben shtei zanav vatavech. Vayever ish balapitim vayishalach bekomis blistim vayever migodish vatkama v'ad keren zayis. So first thing Shimshon did was he caught 300 foxes. This in itself shows how he was having the Yad Hashem. Because have you ever tried catching a fox? They are very hard to catch. I have never ever caught a fox. To be fair, I've never caught a Tyrannosaurus Rex either, because I've never really gotten close enough to either of them. But I can't catch many things. I can't catch a rabbit, can't catch a dog. I can catch a cold, but that's pretty much it. So I'm not very good at catching animals, obviously. So Shimshon caught 300 fox. Now the fox is called a sly animal. Does anyone know why a fox is a sly animal? You did. Why is a fox? I'm drunk. Why is a fox a sly animal?
It could get away from predators, and it just
Yeah.
Woodley. Like,
Yeah, the Gemara and the Mefarshim tell funny stories about the fox. The fox and many different types of the fox do very cool things. For example, there's a relative of the fox. I forget what it's called. I think it's I forgot what it is. One of these fox type animals that when the lion kills an animal, when a hyena kills an animal, it starts yipping out loud. And then the lion comes. And what happens? The lion and the hyena fight. And this fox, or the animal like a fox, gets food while they're fighting. I think it makes them fight so it can get the food. That's a jackal, I think. It's a jackal. It's similar to the fox. So, the Mefarshim tell many stories about the fox. The fox is one of the lessons I use to not make the same mistake other people make. The Medrash tells over a story that one day, Shmuel Yishai remember the story. One day there was a lion that was very sick. Remember the story, guys? Remember the sick lion? And the lion was very sick, and he called the animals to visit him. So which animal did not go visit him? The fox, because the fox said, "I only see footprints going in. I don't see footprints going out." Fox is a smart animal. Also, there's a famous story you may have heard called the Gingerbread Man. You know the story, right? It's not a real story. It's fake. But the point of the story is, even in those days, the guy who wrote the story knew that the fox is smart enough to get the cookie. So the fox told the gingerbread man, "Climb my back," and he climbed in his back. And then when he got across the water, it went lower and lower, and the gingerbread man was standing on the fox's nose. The fox ate up the gingerbread man. And that's the end of the story. So the fox is called the smart animal. But the thing with the fox is this is very important, fox works alone. Many animals work in packs. For example, the wolves, dogs, even cats work together. Foxes don't. They work alone. And this is why it was important that he catch a fox. So he caught these 300 foxes, took tails of 2 of them, tied them together, and lit a torch between them. Now, he put these foxes down inside the fields to burn down all the fields. Now remember, the Perek began by saying, Tzir Chitim. It was a time to cut down the wheat harvest, which meant all the wheat was dry, flammable. Mwahahaha. So he went ahead and he did this. Now, if the foxes worked together, they would have said, oh my gosh, our tails are on fire. Let's run together and get out of here, jump into a lake. They would have ran together. The foxes like to be alone, so they each kept trying to pull the other way. So they kept going nowhere. They were slowly moving all over the place, and slowly but surely, all the Plishti's fields burnt down. The Plishtis were happy? No. Were the foxes happy? Well, no, they had a sad tale to tell you. Get it? Sad tale? Yeah, they did not have it good, the foxes. I don't know if they died or not. I'm not sure what happened to the fox. David Soroka was a good one. Yeah, not everyone got it. Tail guys, oh, forget it. Yeah. So what happened in the pasuk? Well, Shimshon got what he wanted. He wanted an excuse to kill Plishtim, that the Plishtim couldn't blame the Jews. So the Plishtim turned to the other Plishtim and said, who burnt down our fields? Shimshon did. Why? Because his father-in-law let his wife marry someone else. So the Plishtim said, simple, let's kill them. So they went to Shimshon's father-in-law's house and killed the father-in-law and Shimshon's wife in a fire. Now Shimshon could have said, all right, you did my job for me, now we're even. But Shimshon said, what? You killed my wife who I loved so much? And they were like, wait, didn't you tell us she married someone else? Yeah, I didn't say to kill her. Now I'm even more mad. Oops. Now, between me and you, I don't think Shimshon was that mad. I think he was just trying to make trouble. Funny guy, right? He was not mad. He was just, hey, let's cause some problems over here. So what happens? Pasuk Zayim, Shimshon im tausen kazois. If only you should have done this earlier. He says, I'm going to get my revenge against you, and then I'll stop. He took the calf of an animal of some sort, and he struck them a major blow, and then he went down and hid somewhere near Shevet Yehuda. Now, it doesn't tell us what he did, but the gist of it is he killed lots of Plishtim. Now, were the Plishtim upset? Well, no, they were dead. The live Plishtim, they were upset. They said, okay, this is too much. Now we have to kill Shimshon. Now, this is going to be interesting because Shimshon was very strong. So killing him was not going to be an easy thing to do. Yeah, Ellie, your hand's going to fall off soon. Go ahead. Ellie Green, Tzadik, what's going on?
When I learned Sefer Shoftim with my Rebbe, we learned that Shimshon took a jaw of a donkey and he threw it and he killed a certain amount of Plishtim.
Yeah, so there's a tremendous thing that you're discussing, but you're talking about probably the later on story that happened, not this. In other words, there's lots of Mefarshim to discuss different things, but you're probably thinking of about 10 psukim ahead, I'm guessing. Let's see if I'm right. You ready? So now what happens is, Shimshon is happily hiding in Shevet Yehuda. Everyone's happy. Is Shevet Yehuda happy? Yes. Is Shimshon happy? Yes. Are the Plishtim happy? They're dead. Are the live Plishtim happy? No. They want Shimshon, and they want him now. Now, being angry is bad, because when you're angry, you end up doing dumb things and becoming dead, as the Plishti were about to find out. The Plishtim went up and they came to Yehuda and they came to a place called Lechi. They said, we came over here to get Shimshon to do to him what he did to us. What did he do to you? Well, to kill him, you mean, right? Because he killed you, so you want to kill him. I mean, it's a very funny thing to say. To do to him what he did to us. What did he do to you? He killed us. You look alive. Not me, my friend. Which friend? The dead one. What? And this was going on. They were very confused. But this is where they left off over here. So the people in Shevet Yehuda had a problem. On the one hand, you're not allowed to give someone over to a non-Jew to be killed. But on the other hand, they did not want to be killed by the Plishtim either. So they had a problem. Okay. Vayer Shlosh Allah Ish Yehuda El Seif Stella Eitam. Vayem Lo Shimshon Haloyer Data Ki Moshe Bana Plishtim Matzav Sislan. Vayem Lo Kashara Suli Kena Sislahem. So 3,000 men from Shevi Yehuda. Why 3,000 men? Because they were scared of him. Because they knew this guy is nuts in the head. They can't, what are we going to do? So they said, all right, let's go down. So 3,000 men came, and they said to Shimshon, what are you doing? Why are you getting our friends upset at us? You know that they're in charge of us. Do you remember who used to complain like this? Yaakov Abinu once said this. Who did Yaakov Abinu say this to? Anyone know who Yaakov said this to? Avrumi and Asher. Who did Yaakov say it to?
I think it was Esav.
Nope. Nice try though. Yosef Yitzchak who?
Shimon and Levi.
Thank you, Tzaddik. Yaakov turned to Shimon and Levi and said, what are you getting the people upset at us? Why are you causing problems? Someone used to say that to me all the time also when I was younger. My English teacher. All the time. What are you causing problems for? It's math. You're supposed to have problems in math. Telling you teachers. So, what? Was that confusing? I see a lot of you look confused. Math problems, people. My goodness. All righty. So so they came to Shimshon and said, what are you doing? So Shimshon said, wait a second. I didn't do anything wrong. They started up with me. I did. By the way, that's the number one. When a Rebbe comes over to two kids that are fighting, and he says, what are you doing? What's the first thing both the kids say? Does anyone know what the first thing both kids say? It's two words. Tzvi Jacobson, what's the first thing they say?
You're hurting me.
No. That hospital, I would never touch a kid. Yossi, what do the kids say?
He said he started.
That's right. The kid always says, he started. I don't care who started. I want to know who stopped. This never works. He started. No, he started. I don't care who started. What's the mean? Okay, so you hit him 3 times, you hit him 4 times, but because he hit you harder, I don't want to do the math. I want to know who stopped the fight. The one who stopped the fight is the one that walked away. So Shimshon said, they started up with me. So they turned back to Shimshon, so he said to Shimshon, listen, they want us to give you, what should we do? Shimshon said, so hand me over, but I want you to promise you're not going to hurt me. Because Shimshon was scared. Since he wasn't from Shevi Yehuda, maybe they'd get upset at him. And when he was tied up, it started to hurt him. And Shimshon didn't know if Hashem would give him the power to fight back against Jews, only against non-Jews. So Shimshon did not want them to fight. So Shimshon said, only if you're going to tell me that you're not going to hurt me. And they said to Shimshon, why would we want to hurt you? We're Jews, you're Jews. We're on the same side. But they got to tie him up to give him over, so Plishtim shouldn't be upset. So they took Shimshon, and they tied him up. And the pasuk says, they tied him with 2 new ropes and brought him up. What's a new rope? So some things are better new, and some things are better old. Does anybody have an example of what's better when it's old? Morty Miller, what's better when it's old?
Wine.
What, you drink wine? Only some wines. You know, if you go to your fridge and open up wine and leave a cup of wine out for 6 hours, 12 to 6 days, it's going to taste disgusting. Some wine, when it has the ability to ferment for a longer period of time, gets better. Old wine is definitely better than new wine. Personally, I don't like old wine and I don't like new wine. I like grape juice. Cold cup of grape juice is perfect. I don't need alcohol or alcohol. Either way, I don't need any alcohols at all. But apparently old wine is better. But let me tell you something, new ropes are better because old ropes are very easy to break. When they're used back and forth, they break. And if you want proof of this, you could do something that I showed the boys in my class. Watch, I'll show you. Here's how it works. Take a plastic fork or knife or spoon and take it and bend it and then bend it back and forward, back, and keep doing this with the plastic fork, knife, or spoon. And after you bend it forward and backwards very fast 100 times, touch it to right above your mouth. And it'll burn you. Not like burn you down, but it'll be hot. Again, a plastic spoon, fork, or knife, wiggle it back and forth all the way 100 times fast, and then touch it, and it'll burn you. Why? Because what happens is the process of being bent one way and the other way weakens it so much that it actually starts to melt, and it gets hot. So if a rope is bent forward and backwards over and over, it begins to get very frayed, right? You know, like one time a very ruined piece of rope came into a bar and said, "Can I please have a drink?" And the bartender said, "We don't serve rope here. Are you rope?" And he said, "No, I'm afraid not." Afraid not, you know. It's been a long day, guys. Just to give me that. It's been a very long day. I had last night, you know, only like 1 or 2 boys came. We had a very private practice in my backyard. My kids wanted to practice outside. So we invited all of you at the last second. But Yonadav. Where's Yonadav? Can you, someone just mentioned your name. Who just mentioned your name? Someone?
Where?
I don't know. I was talking to someone. Oh, the Baselbergs. Are you related to the Baselbergs?
No,
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I was talking to them and they mentioned your name. Ask your mom. I bet you're related to the Baselbergs. We'll find out. I'll ask you later. Okay. So anyway, so now we're up to over here. So Shimshon is wrapped up in 2 brand new ropes, very tight, and he's handed over to the Plishtim. Pasuk Yud Dalet. Hu va ad lechi Plishtim heriu lekraso, v'tzach levrach Hashem v'yena batiyena ha'avosim asher al zorosov ha'plishtim shabaru ba'esh v'yimasu asurav me'al yadav. The Plishtim, the Medrash tells us, first the Plishtim checked the ropes to make sure it wasn't a trick. So they took the ropes and they pulled in it, and Shimshon was tied very tight. And the Plishtim said, "Okay, what's the first thing you do when someone's defenseless? You hit him." So the Plishtim began to hit him. The second they began to hit him, this way it wasn't on Shevet Yehuda. The pasuk says that Hashem's power came over him, and the ropes became like thin rope that had been burnt with fire, and the ropes melted right off his hand. What did the Plishtim say? They said 2 words, "Oh" and "ah." No, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then the pasuk continues on and says, he found the jawbone of a donkey, took it in his hand, and he killed 1,000 people with the jawbone of the donkey. Hey, Ellie, that sounds a little bit better. Now we're up to donkey jawbones. I got to tell you, you can have a question from Elyoah Jacobowitz, which is, how did he know it was the jawbone of a donkey? Maybe it was a velociraptor. I mean, do any of you know what the jawbone of a donkey looks like? So I don't think the pasuk's point was to say it was bedafka, the jawbone of the donkey. It could mean that it's talking about the bone that made piles of dead Plishtim. When is the word chamor ever used for pile? Anyone? Come on. Avram Dov Meir. When is chamor used for piles?
During Makas Svardea, it says.
That's right. Vayisperu asam chamarim, and they piled them into piles and piles, which is another reason that chamor is one of my favorite names. I mean, not only is the guy a donkey, the guy's a pile of donkeys. I mean, that's great stuff. So, yeah. So there we go. So very good. That was very nice, Sadik. Thank you. So it could be it wasn't actually the bone of a donkey. Rather, it could be. Yossi, I can't see. My eyes aren't so good. When you hit my age, you can't see things very well. And you think that's, but when I drive, no one's ever on the road. I just hear thump, 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 thump. That's how I know when I'm hitting people. So, yeah, okay, hold on, guys. Yossi's going crazy. Yossi Snyder, what's going on, Sadik?
Didn't come on for the past long time because I start to end school at 4:15.
Ah, but now you're back.
Yeah, but well, I didn't learn.
Yossi, I'm so happy you're back. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. I'm gonna have as many shirim
When
as
are we
I can.
getting the text? When are we getting the text of Sefer Yoshua?
When it's ready, very soon. The guys have been working on it with me over the weekend, so hopefully very soon. Okay, hold on. Guys, I've got to finish the Perek over here. It's getting late. Hold on. So after he finished, no, I missed the pasuk. Pasuk Kesvav, pasuk Kezayin. With the jawbone of a donkey, I made piles and piles. And he called the place Ramas Lechi. Guys, if you're raising your hand for a question, don't. I'm not going to call on you. So I got to first finish the Perek. And then after Perek, I'll take questions. So then Shimshon became very thirsty. Why did Shimshon become very thirsty? This was a punishment. This was a punishment to Shimshon that he became very thirsty, because anytime that that something happens, it's a message from Hashem. What was the message? Well, the message was, by Shimshon calling the place Ramas Lechi, he was saying the reason all the Plishtim died is because of me. My power killed the Plishtim. And Hashem is like, really? You don't want to call it like Yad Hashem or something? You want to call it the jawbone place? The jawbone of the donkey? Not Hashem gave me power? So Hashem said, well, let's see how powerful you are. I'm going to give you a little urge called thirst. Have fun. And then Shimshon was like, can't drink, need water. And now I'm thirsty. Excuse me a second. This is red water. Oh my no, a fruit punch. So Shimshon became very thirsty, and he said to him, Shimshon said, oh no, I'm going to die here in the hands of the Arelim, the uncircumcised people. You're going to let me die? So Hashem opened up the spot in the jawbone, and water came from the jawbone, and he drank it, and that place therefore is called this place of water from the jawbone, and Shimshon was the judge for 20 years. Wait a second. Didn't I tell you that drinking or eating things from dead animals is not kosher? Remember when Shimshon ate the honey from the lion, and I told you I wasn't sure if it was kosher or not? So now we have a problem. Is water from a bone of a donkey kosher? Let's go back a second. Is a donkey kosher? Well, I know a donkey that's kosher. He only eats kosher. Milk and meat he waits. But donkeys themselves are not kosher. It's just not the way it works. So which brings us back to our question, is how could Shimshon drink? Zachariah, you want to try this one? Go ahead.
He was gonna die.
He was going to die. Yeah? So Zachariah says because he's going to die, which is true. If you're about to die, you're allowed to eat or drink non-kosher. Pinchas car? Uncle Maishi.
Like Zachariah said, it's Bekuach Nefesh, and also it's from Hashem. It's Hashem gave it to him.
Wait a second. Do you know Zachariah from before I give this year?
No, I just know him because you always call on him. Rabbi always calls on him.
I call on a lot of you, but I'm so happy that you're beginning to learn each other's names. That's only on this screen. I have other screens. I only call on boys
Well,
on
that's
this
because
screen.
his name just popped up.
Nice. Zachariah, you're famous now. Zoizak Pinchas, you're famous. Well, Pinchas, I call on you also a lot because you're also pretty awesome. I love all of you guys. So they bring up an excellent point. The Gemara actually discusses what would happen if a piece of pig would fall from the sky. You were allowed to eat it. It came from Hashem. And the Gemara discusses it's a ridiculous question because anything that Hashem gives you is kosher. This is one of the debates that goes on. For example, scientists in England began to grow meat. How do you grow meat? I don't know. They grow meat. So that meat they grow, is that fleischigs? They grow meat in a little machine and it grows. So is that meat fleischigs? Because it's not really meat, but it's made from the DNA of meat. Okay, we'll vote. Whoever thinks that meat is fleischigs, give me a thumbs up. Whoever thinks it's not fleischigs, give me a thumbs down. Who? We got a very big mixture over here. Yosef Yitzchak, which Yosef is saying thumbs up, Yitzchak is saying hands down. That we're doing, splitting up in two. Yeah, it's a tough question. This is the same thing with hydroponics. You know, a strawberry. What bracha is a strawberry? Anyone eat strawberries? No, what bracha is a strawberry?
Adama.
Really? Where does it grow from?
It grows so close to the ground.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you go to a hydroponics place where they take strawberries and instead of growing them in the ground, they grow them straight from water. That's a lot of the strawberries you get. They're grown via hydroponics. They're grown straight from water. Do you make a bracha borei priya adama? Because they're not in the ground. They're always in water. Or do you make a shahakol? These are huge questions, not simple questions. And if you want to ask your local Orthodox rabbi, it's not so, hold on a second. I got Yosef Baruch Hanon reminding me of something. What's wrong, guys?
Your announcement. It's 7:40.
What announcement? What was it?
Like you said, like a big announcement. Yeah.
You don't know what it was? Well,
No.
what's the point of telling me I make an announcement if you forget what the announcement is?
You didn't tell us what it was.
Maybe I forgot back then also. All right, thank you, boys. Thank you for reminding me that I have to say something. Guys, big announcement, don't know what it is. So anyway, well, we'll get to that in a second. So in any case, so now what happens is we have a question is, can something that Hashem gave him be treif? And the answer is no. The stomach, taking oil from an non-kosher animal is not okay. But the water came from a bone that Hashem gave it to give water. It's like a rock giving water by Moshe Rabbeinu. Remember when the rock gave water? Is a rock kosher? No, because I once ate everything big and there was a rock inside. But that, besides the point, rocks are not food. Are you allowed to eat a rock? I don't know. I never thought about that. It's a rock in question. Yeah, I don't know. It would probably taste like dirt because a rock, be'etzim, is dirt. Interesting question. Never thought about that. But it can't be not kosher because Hashem. Okay. I'm starting, this is important for you to listen to, so listen very closely. I'm starting tomorrow a really cool contest. Many boys. There was at one point almost 7,500 boys learning with us. And we're down to only about 2,000 because you're splitting up into different Zooms. And the reason I have so much, a lot of you are in camp, but a lot of you are scared that you're not going to be able to learn because, yeah, I see you guys, you put your hands down, I see you all. Because you're scared about missing and this and that. So I have a special summer contest I'm doing. And I'm not telling you what it is. But I will tell you the grand prize. The grand prize is a $500 remote control drone with video camera. That's one of the grand prizes. There's a few really cool prizes. And the prizes don't require you being involved in my share every day, just either being involved once a week or after camp. But here's the problem. Many boys are not going to know about this because they stopped signing on because they weren't able to be on every night. So I have homework for all of you boys, a lot of you here. I want you to tell your friends to sign on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And I'm going to spend the first 15 minutes explaining what the contest is. I emailed a lot of parents and they said their kids are away because they didn't know. I told the parents, get your kids back. But go to your friends, wherever they live, your cousins, your grandparents, your great-great-grandmothers, pet dogs, poodles, rabbits, parrot. Get them all to sign on at 7 o'clock because the more boys, the more prize I'll have for this contest. Avrami and Usher, what's going on?
That we have camp tomorrow and it ends at 5 o'clock. I do. And so, or 7 o'clock your time, Rebbe's time. So I can't.
It ends at 7?
Right.
So the contest, but you're on, you come on at about 7:10 then, right?
Well, it's on It's on a different part of the town, so it's going to take a while to get there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so are you going to be on at all or you're not going to be on at all?
We might, if Rebbe keeps the link on for maybe a half hour, then maybe.
I'll give you a private link if you have your parents email me. But yeah, come on whenever you can. It's always good. But in any case, I want you guys to come on because even if you're not able to be there, I'll have a recording on. It'll explain the rules of the contest, but it'll be some really, really cool stuff going on, and it'll go through to the end of the summer. I have to do the joke of the day, though, before I forget the joke. Now, I forgot what the joke was. Hold on, let me find it. It was, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. No, that I forgot what it was. All right, who picked the joke of the day? Who picked the joke? Aaron, you picked it? What joke was it?
I think 182 or 182.
182. 182.
Or 187, I don't remember.
What? Let me see. Oh yes, 187. Got it. Okay, so 187 is a funny one. It's a quacky. That's Wacky's brother. Quacky is the crazy one. Quacky, crazy. Quacky was in a car accident. Maybe I was driving. And he was banged up a little bit. And he goes to the doctor the next morning, and he's in agony. And he says to the doctor, I think I'm seriously hurt. The doctor says, why? He goes, look. And he points to his leg. See this? That hurts. Stomach, that hurts. My neck over here, that hurts. My head, that hurts. He goes, how bad am I? And doctor looks at him for a few minutes and says, okay. The reason everything hurts is because you have a broken finger. Stop pushing things. I told you, it's more of like a ha-ha joke because, you know, if you push this thing, it's a broken finger. If you have a broken finger, you shouldn't poke yourself to say what hurts. But that, you know, I don't know. Yeah. One of the jokes written here is not a joke. It's something that happened to me. Do you want to hear an amazing story that happened to me? So I very often get to stay up late at night and learn or do stuff in my house or prepare shir because everyone's sleeping. So at about 10:30, about a year ago, it was 10:30 at night, and I'm in my house and I'm alone. Everyone's sleeping. I have my Gemara out and I have my notes out, and all of a sudden my doorbell goes ding dong, and I'm thinking, who is ringing a doorbell? Like 7 people sleeping. Who's ringing a doorbell? So I open the door, and there's a guy outside. There's a Shtikl Hasidische guy, and it says Shalom Aleichem. I said Shalom Aleichem. He says to me, "Du weißt Yiddish?" I said, "Nein." What? That means you speak Yiddish, and I said no. So he's like, "That's Yiddish?" I said, "Nein, ich weiß Yiddish." Okay. He's like very confused. He goes, "Okay." He says, "I'm collecting. Collecting for a money." Now I was upset because the guy rang my bell at 10:30 at night. So many people would say, "Close door, tell the guy go home, come back at a reasonable hour." And the guy rang the bell, didn't even knock. But the guy's collecting money. It must be, if he's collecting money, he must be desperate, right? How could you turn someone away? I'm collecting money for a mikvah in Brooklyn or Muncie or something. I said, what? He says, I'm collecting for a mikvah. Collecting for a mikvah. So, seriously, man? He goes, yeah, I'm collecting for a mikvah. I think it was Muncie. Collecting for a mikvah. I said, hold on a second. I go to the kitchen. I come back with a cup of water. And he says to me, no, thank you. I said, what? He goes, I'm not thirsty. I said, no, it's for the mikvah. You're collecting for the mikvah. Here's some water. Yeah, so the guy didn't find it very funny. I thought it was hysterical. He's collecting for a mikvah. I gave him water for the mikvah. How many saw go in the mikvah? 40 saw. So I gave him one of the saw for the 40 saw. And it wasn't even rain water. It was Poland spring water. And the guy didn't want the water for the mikvah. Mach me sugar in the cup. And I didn't even speak Yiddish. Anyway, boys, I got to go because the davening Maya right away over here. They're having an early minion over there. I can't. Boys, I love you. Yelena Dove, did you ask your mom?
Yeah, we are related because my mom said that it's her cousin.
I told you. I knew it. I was talking to the Baselbergs. I know. I was talking to them yesterday, And they said they have one of their boys, Yonadav Sayag. I was like, I know. They said a Sayag, and I said, it must be Yonadav. And that's how I knew it was you. Because I memorized all your names already. And if your parents uploaded a picture of you, then I memorize what you look like a lot. So when I meet you in the street, I won't walk over to Shimon Belsky and say, hey, Moshe Mizrahi. That'd be a little bit confusing, right? So I got to get the right names. One of your parents didn't have a picture of you because they uploaded like a cockroach or something. So now whenever I see the cockroach, I'm like, shooey. Oh. So that wasn't a good idea. I got to upload the right picture. Yes. Odelia, if I see you, I'll know you're a TL sister. All right? All right. Boys, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I cannot answer questions because I can't be late to davening. If you have any questions, please email me. I'll put the windows up tonight, Emir Hashem. Bye-bye. Thank you for learning Torah with me.